Biscuits and tea.
It's all about, it goes down to personal responsibility. You don't want a society where no one has personal responsibility.
Exactly.
A, for themselves or for the people around them that they don't identify, like they don't identify with their neighbor. They're just like, if my neighbor, like, you know, doesn't cut his grass, I'm going to go over with a shotgun and just blow up his whole family. You know, like that was okay. And that's fine. You don't, like.
Let me clarify, because I'm not advocating that I think atheism is tied to this idea of self-indulgence at all. I think that atheism actually is leading, you know, it's a secular lifestyle. I think that perspective and the majority of people that are atheists is more about, hey, how can I make the world better, regardless of what higher power or anything that's going on. A secular lifestyle, you know, that's how I think all three of us kind of live. It's like, regardless of what's going on or what we don't know or do know, like we're just going to try to live a positive lifestyle in general for ourselves and for the people around us and for our community.
Yeah, that just makes more, it seems a more logical thing to do anyway.
No, I'm definitely just trying to enjoy myself as much as possible. And then it definitely like fits in that, like, if I see someone who's really struggling or something, like that makes me feel bad, like empathy for them. So then you feel like it feels good when like, you help someone out. So it all just kind of like fits into this.
You know what's one of the shitty things from religion that is probably misunderstood, but what our current society goes, you're like in Catholicism, you're not supposed to feel good about that. You're not supposed to feel good, Tyler. That's not good. So they want you to deny this human emotion, this clear human emotion that we all seem to feel, that when you see someone without food and you go get them some food and they smile and say thank you, don't you? What are you doing feeling? You're supposed to do it for not for the thanks. Don't do it for the thanks, man. Just do it because just do it. One of my favorite philosophers is Ayn Rand. You can pronounce it Ayn Rand too. It's this woman. She's this Russian woman. She's type in. All right, I'm going to throw this right here right now. You guys have never seen Ayn. I love you. She might be one of the most unattractive women. AYN space RAND, and then hit Google Images. AYN space RAND. Okay. Okay. Now. Now, that being said, I'm just throwing that out there just to give you a picture of her as a person overall. No, she's dead now, but she is one of the biggest badasses you will have ever seen. Click on Ayn, watch for one of her, because her entire philosophy, I believe, was called not individualism, but whatever. It was, her whole thing was against this idea of I'm supposed to give and not want and receive. I'm supposed to give. And so she promoted this idea of not necessarily being selfish, but actually, I think it's called individualism.
Objectivism.
Objectivism. Thank you. And she was born in Russia. I think she had to deal with the entire Nazi situation, et cetera. She came over to the U.S. She just became if you listen to one of her talks, she's just an unbelievably badass woman, projecting that you need to use your own logic in order to figure out what's best for you. And like, yeah, why? I feel good when this guy eats.
So
I like it.
She was a Russian-American writer and philosopher. She was known for 2 best-selling novels, The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, and for developing a philosophical system she named Objectivism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's also just such a counterproductive way of thinking, of trying to convince people to not feel good about it. Because if I don't feel good, I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to heaven. You're not going to heaven.
Well,
You're not going. You're not going.
Just so everyone knows, so our listeners understand, Objectivism is the concept of a man as a heroic being with his own happiness as a moral purpose of his life, his or her life, with productive achievement as his or her noblest activity, and reason his or her only absolute. I'm trying to read that
that sounded, yeah, that confused me.
It's written, okay, I'll read it as the way she wrote it. The concept of man as a heroic being with his own happiness as a moral purpose of his life, with productive achievement as his noblest activity, and reason as his only absolute. That is what it says on Wikipedia. What is that?
I can just guarantee you, listen to me. I've read The Fountainhead, Atlas Shrugged. I've read giant portions of these books. Are very big, and they just go through her entire thesis over and over again. which is essentially to think for yourself, and that your logic and your brain is the thing that is going to help carry you out of any issue. And she hates, which I don't agree with, but she just was so adamant against nothing from the spiritual world or anything like that has any use. She would call them savages. Shamans are fucking worthless. But she's just such a just watch one of her YouTube clips, like watch her interviews, like watch her not take shit from these guys in the 60s and 70s, these announcers who would talk down to women on the things. She would just be like, all right, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, this is no, I don't. No. She's just a badass.
Those are the people we don't know about because our history has been controlled, and what we see in school, who we learn from, why would I ever know who she is growing up in the American school system? She is everything that the church and the state do not want us to see.
No. They would not. They don't want that. They wouldn't. Most people end up discovering her around your guys, like around your age, because people go to college. Like some people discover her in college. They could take a philosophy course. They get mentioned and they get deep into it. But you're not taught about that rational, logical thinking when you're a kid, which, by the way, would be necessary. Maybe I could use that on if I want to spend the rest of my life in debt going to college. Like maybe I could use some rational thinking before I decide I want to pay $40,000 every year to go to college. Nope.